Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we will be talking about Scratch. Again, I know it's been some time, but let's get on into the video. So, today we'll be going over the looks section. As you can see, it's the second down on the left, and all of the blocks are the color purple. The looks section makes it so then certain things look certain ways, or as this block says hello for 2 seconds. Or the backdrop, which I'll get to in a later video, changes. So, this block, say blank for blank seconds, makes it so then if I click it, if it's in this sprite's code, this sprite would say hello right there in that little speech bubble for 2 seconds. If you want to customize the speech bubble, you have to make it on your own. I'll talk to you about that in a later video. But then I could customize it to say hi for 2 seconds, and then it would say hi for 2 seconds. Or I could make it say it for 0.5 seconds, and then it'll just pop up right over there and then go away. Yeah, you get it. And then this just makes them say something, hello, and it doesn't have a time limit. I could also do hi, and then after that code runs, then if this code runs, it would go hi. And then there's this think one, and it makes a different bubble, and it's the think bubble. And this is think blank for blank seconds. So I could do think should I walk right for 2 seconds, and then it would ask should I walk right for 2 seconds. And then there's this other think one that's just think blank, and that would think whatever's in the blank for forever until he thinks something else, like thinking hi. Then there's the switch costume. You can see that in these sections, it kind of leaves a big gap in between the ones that are related and the ones that aren't. And this one kind of makes it look different. So this one, if I had another costume in the costumes thing up here, if I had a second costume, like this cat's second costume is this. Like that's the first costume, that's the second costume. Then this is a predefined list. So if I did costume 1 over here, once it runs, it goes to costume 1. Costume 2, it goes to costume 2. You can name the costumes, but I'll get to that in a later video. And then you can also just do the next costume one, which in this running one, if you just click it over and over, run it over and over, it looks like the cat is running a bit. You just have to have him move right a bit. Then there's the switch backdrop. You can add backdrops here, like if I added a backdrop and it's Arctic. Then if I clicked switch backdrop to backdrop 1, it would be white. Backdrop Arctic would be the Arctic one. And this is useful if in game you want them to go to like inside a room, but you need the background to change, so you could just use the backdrop to change the background. And then there's just next backdrop, which when you click it, it goes to the next backdrop in the list. And then there's the change size by and set size to. These are two different ones because if I did change size by, this would change this number by how many numbers I have by how much I have in here. Like 10, it makes them larger. But then I can put -10, and then it makes them smaller. Set size to would be if it's 100, then just say his size is 80. Then if I did size to 100%, he'd go to 100. Or if I did 290, he'd be 290. He'd be the size 290. Let's just set him back to 100 for now. And then there's change color effect, set color effect 2, and then clear graphic effects. I don't use graphic effects that much, but color effect would be the hue. That's basically if in a costume, right here, his head is currently orange, and that's right here. So it's color 11, saturation 90. But when I click this, it would just say from color 11 to saturation 90, it would add 25 if that's the number in here. Then there's like some other things here, like pixelate, and just makes it more pixelated. There's brightness, which just either makes him less bright or makes him even brighter until you can't see him anymore. And there's set the effect to blank. So this would be if I wanted it to be red color. Well, his original color, it would be 0. If I wanted it to be just 15 away from his original color, it would be 15. If I wanted him to pixelate to a certain amount, like 20, then I'd do that. You notice how if I run this again, he doesn't pixelate more, where if I ran this again, he would. That's because this is change, this is set. The clear graphic effects is just say my brightness is up a bunch, it would just set it back to the normal. Then there's the show and hide one. These two are kind of simple. You click hide, he hides. You click show, he shows. Also, if you have any script for like clicking on him and he's hidden, it doesn't work. Just so you know. And then there's go to front layer, go forward blank layers. These are if there's another sprite on top of him, then if he's in the front layer, he'd be on top of the sprite. If he's in the back layer, he'd be behind the sprite. Also, if there are 3 sprites and he's in the back layer and he wants to go to the middle layer, he'll just go forward by 1 layer. And then there's costume number, backdrop number, and size. You can check these boxes off and then it would show up there the size of them. Or if you've noticed in here how these are circular, if I wanted to change the color effect by the size of him, then it would be changing the color effect by the size of him, or the costume number, or the backdrop. And that's it for looks. I hope you have a good day.